Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of Scott's Selections here for Saturday, October 3rd. Before we get into today's play, a quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up picking up a nice winner with the Lakers -9, which was available on DraftKings at -113. It was pretty dicey, as the game was roughly within 12 or so for the entire fourth quarter, but the Lakers ended up winning by exactly 10. Props to the Heat for keeping it close, but at the end of the day, when Anthony Davis has 30-plus points, LeBron has another huge game. Miami's not going to win if they give up 124 points. Lakers got whatever they wanted on the interior. Heat had no rim protection, and for that reason, the Lakers were able to pick up a win. But for Saturday's card, we are looking briefly at whatever is here, and there's really nothing that I like. I already talked about the college football plays on the joint show with Scott Steen, so check out that video if you have not done so before. Other than that, though, we're going to be looking at a player prop here on Saturday, kind of like what we did last week as we ended up winning with Miles Sanders on the rush yards over. Player props been pretty good to us so far ever since the Marlon Mack issue in week 1. But ever since then, we're undefeated. So overall player props have been pretty good. And for the play of the day, we're going to be looking at a player prop in the Detroit Lions and New Orleans Saints matchup taking place in the NFL on Sunday. And the play that we're going to be going with is Kenny Gallaudet over 63.5 receiving yards, which is available on FanDuel at -110. Now, a couple reasons why I like this spot here for Gallaudet. First of all, last week he ended up making a season debut after missing the first couple of weeks, and he played really well. He had 6 receptions for 57 yards and a touchdown, which might not sound that great, but considering the fact that he was against Patrick Peterson, who's still one of the best corners in the league, is he as good as he used to be? No, but he's still probably a future Hall of Famer, and he's still one of the best corners in the league. So he still did pretty well against him for 57 yards and a touchdown. Now it goes up against New Orleans. Now, New Orleans, people know, has Marshawn Lattimore, very solid cornerback, who normally would be assigned to Kenny Gallaudet. However, the Saints have a ton of injuries to the secondary, and Marshawn Lattimore is actually not going to play in this game. To make matters worse, the second corner on the depth chart for the Saints is Janoris Jenkins, who might not be that good now, but he is still a veteran who's been around the block a few times. And he is also out for this game, which means that the Saints will be missing their number 1 and their number 2 cornerbacks in this game. And Gallaudet is 100% healthy once again. Stafford loves to throw the ball. The game's in a dome, so weather's not going to play a factor. And I expect Gallaudet to feast. I think this is a great spot for him to do extremely well. If you want to talk about the matchups, he will most likely be guarded by Patrick Robinson. I don't know if you ever watched Robinson play. Not very good. It's either him or P.J. Williams. And Williams, of course, is the guy who missed Stephon Diggs on that miracle touchdown at the end. Now, Williams is okay, not great. Patrick Robinson's not great either. But conceptually speaking, you have a top 10 wide receiver in the league in Gallaudet, and now he's being guarded by a number 3 corner on the Saints, whose secondary wasn't very good to begin with. It's a really terrible spot for the Saints defense. And I think that Gallaudet, who already came out swinging in his first start of the season with a touchdown and 57 yards, I think he's going to probably go for around at least 80. I could see him breaking 100 here, especially with Detroit and how good New Orleans is at stopping the run. I think New Orleans is going to force Stafford and that offense to throw the ball a lot, which Stafford, of course, is more than willing to do so. I think Stafford will have a big game. I think that him and Gallaudet should connect several times. I think he might have a ton of receptions, but I think he has a shot to go over 100 yards. And right now, his yard total is at 63.5. I know right before I went on air, it was at 61.5. It has been gone up to 63.5. I still think this market hasn't fully adjusted to Lattimore and Jenkins being out. So I do think this line will climb. But at the end of the day, Gallaudet, who put up 57 against Patrick Peterson, now space at number 3 corner on the depth chart, or number 4. And it's in a dome with a defense that he's against that stops the run pretty easily. So I do think that game flow and everything will lead to a very solidable spot for Gallaudet, and I think he will go over the 63.5. So the play that once again here for Saturday, October 3rd, is going to be on Kenny Gallaudet over 63.5 receiving yards, which is available at -110 on FanDuel, at time recording of 5 a.m. Eastern Time. That's an installment. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.